Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's time to break down the games for Monday, April 15th, 2024. But first, let's take a look at how we did yesterday. Another winning day. That's 5 winning days in a row, guys. Up over just 2 units, just over 2 units up yesterday. That puts us up just under 2.5 units month to date. Today we go for 6 wins in a row. Let's make it happen. The first 2 games up are the Minnesota Twins at the Baltimore Orioles and the Texas Rangers at the Detroit Tigers. First, in the Twins-Orioles game, it's Varland against Irvin. Both pitchers have not looked good this year. They've each given up 9 earned runs in their first 2 starts. So for this one, I'm just going to go with the Baltimore Orioles offense, which has been way better than the Minnesota offense. The Minnesota offense has not been hitting on all cylinders yet this year. The Orioles average 2 full runs more per game than Minnesota does. So since both pitchers give up a lot of runs, but the Orioles score more runs, we're going to go with the Baltimore Orioles money line at minus 135. And then in the Texas-Detroit game, it's Michael Lorenzen making his season debut for the Rangers against Reese Olson for the Detroit Tigers. You know how I feel about pitchers who are making their debuts this late in the season, getting off to late starts. It hasn't worked out well for Snell, so I don't see it working out that well for Lorenzen either. However, I don't trust Reese Olson. His first start, he gave up 0 runs, but in his last start against Pittsburgh, he gave up 6 runs. And the Texas offense is really good. Detroit's offense hasn't been as good as the Texas offense has been. So I think it's best to just stay away from this one. I'm not sure what we're going to get from Lorenzen. I'm not sure what we're going to get for Olson. So I think we just stay away from this game. The next 2 games to look at are the Colorado Rockies at the Philadelphia Phillies and the San Francisco Giants at the Miami Marlins. First, in the Rockies-Phillies game, it's Cal Quantrill against Aaron Nola. I like the Philadelphia Phillies first 5 in this one at minus 240. I wish I could find a parlay partner for them. I don't like to lay more than minus 180, but you have Nola on the mound. He's the second ace for the Phillies at home against a Rockies team that's really struggled this year. Quantrill has not looked good at all. He's carrying a 7.2 ERA going into this game. He's 0-2 on the year. The Philadelphia offense is better than the Colorado offense. So yeah, I'll just stick with the Phillies first 5. The Phillies bullpen has been really bad, and they've blown a lot of games. So I'm not sure. Maybe if it is close late in the game, Colorado could maybe make a comeback. So I'll just take first 5. And then in the Giants-Marlins game, my first inkling was to stay away from this game. I had nothing written down at first, but then I thought about it. If you can fade the Marlins at minus 115, that's a really good price. Kyle Harrison, he's a promising young arm. He hasn't pitched that bad this year. He does carry a 4.76 ERA into the game, but he has looked pretty good. Not a lot of walks, a lot of strikeouts. And then on the Miami side, you have Edward Cabrera on the mound making his season debut. Once again, that hasn't worked out that well for Snell, making these late season debuts where you don't get a full spring training in. And also Edward Cabrera, he's had walk problems in the past. I'm sure the Giants are going to look and be patient against Cabrera, look to get on base. I'm not sure how deep he'll go into the game. Miami's bullpen has been terrible. Miami all around has been kind of terrible. So to fade the Marlins, like I said, for minus 115, I think that's a good price. So we're going to take the Giants money line in this one. The next 2 games to look at are the Los Angeles Angels at the Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Yankees at the Toronto Blue Jays. First, in the Angels-Rays game, it's Patrick Sandoval against Zach Eflin. These are the team's aces going against each other. Sandoval and Eflin have each had 3 starts this year, 1 good one and 2 bad ones each. They're both offenses, average 4.5 runs a game. Both teams have bullpens that have been unreliable this year. So I think it's really close. I think it's best to just stay away from this game altogether. I will take Isaac Paredes to get a hit at minus 179. And then the Blue Jays Yankees game, it's Luis Gil against Chris Bassett. Gil's looked okay this year. Bassett has been inconsistent this year. The Blue Jays offense has not started going yet. The Yankees average 1 full run more per game than Toronto does. I would probably lean Yankees in this one. I think both teams are minus 110, so it's really close. It's a coin flip. The Blue Jays' offense, I think, is just waiting to break out. Gil just doesn't have a lot of experience under his belt, so this could be the game. I think it's best to just stay away from it. However, I will take Alex Verdugo to get a hit at minus 234. The next 2 games to look at are the Pittsburgh Pirates at the New York Mets and the Kansas City Royals at the Chicago White Sox. First, in the Pittsburgh Pirate-New York Met game, it's Martin Perez against Adrian Hauser. Perez has looked really good this year, only giving up 4 earned runs in his 3 starts so far this year. Hauser, he has 1 good start and 1 bad start under his belt. He gave up 1 run in 5 innings in his first start. His next start, he gave up 5 runs in 5 innings against the Braves. However, I do think a lot of pitchers are going to have bad starts against that Braves offense, so I don't hold that against them. The Mets offense started slow, but it's been coming on strong lately. Plus, in the past, their players have hit Martin Perez pretty good. So I think it's best to just stay away from this game. Even though the Pirates have been rolling, their offense and the Mets offense struggled still year to date. They only average about a half a run more per game. And the Mets lately probably average way more than the Pirates just because of the last 6 games is where the Mets offense has really taken off. So I think it's best to just stay away from this one. I will take Starling Marte to get a hit, though, at minus 244. And then in the Royals-White Sox game, I think fading the White Sox all year is going to be super profitable. The Royals have been pretty hot. They got a little cooled off by the Mets this last series, but I can't believe that the Royals, with Lugo on the mound, who's carrying a 1.45 ERA into the game, he's 2-0. I can't believe they're only minus 155. I think fading the White Sox all year, their opponents are going to be in the minus 200. So I think there's a lot of value at minus 155. So we'll take the Royals in this one. The next 2 games to look at are the San Diego Padres at the Milwaukee Brewers and the Atlanta Braves at the Houston Astros. First, in the Padres-Brewers game, it's Joe Musgrove against Joe Ross. In this game, I mean, Musgrove is the way better pitcher, although he hasn't looked good this year. He's 1-2 with a 6.87 going into the game. Ross, he's pitched really well for Milwaukee, although he hasn't been able to get past the 4th inning in either one of his starts. Obviously, Milwaukee is the better team record-wise, and they have been pretty hot so far. I think I saw minus 110 for each one. That's how close this game is, even with Musgrove, the all-star, on the mound. So I think it's best to just stay away from it. So we're going to bet nothing in this one. We're not going to get involved with this game. And then the Braves-Astros game, it's Vines against Arrighetti. Arrighetti's making his second start of his career. Vines making his first start of the year. This is another one where you have two offenses that are really good. Houston's bullpen hasn't been that good. I'd probably lean Atlanta in this one. What I really like is probably the over in this one. However, the over is like at 10.5. That's a super high over. But you have two offenses that are really good against two pitchers that don't have a lot of experience, that maybe aren't that good. So I definitely think the over is in play. Even at 10.5, I think it's really close. So I think it's best to just stay away from it. We'll bet nothing and see. It could be a fireworks show. We'll find out. The next 2 games to look at are the Chicago Cubs at the Arizona Diamondbacks and the St. Louis Cardinals at the Oakland Athletics. First, in the Cubs-Diamondback game, it looks like the Cubs are going to go with a bullpen game. They're going to start with Ben Brown, but it's a bullpen game for them. And then the Diamondbacks have Merrill Kelly on the mound, who's pitched really well so far this year. Going into the game, he carries a 2-0 record with a 2.29 ERA. In this one, I think it's best to just stay away. Arizona owned the Cubs last year. But the Cubs this year, they've been a little bit better than they were last year. They're averaging more runs per game. They've done pretty well in their bullpen games this year. I believe they're 2-0 in their bullpen games. So I think it's best to just stay away. I would probably lean Arizona, but I'm just going to bet nothing in this one. And then in the Cardinals and Athletics game, it's Sonny Gray on the mound against Ross Stripling. Sonny Gray looked really good in his first outing for the Cardinals. He got the win. He didn't give up any runs. He finished top 3 in Cy Young in the American League last year. So obviously he's very good. Stripling, on the other hand, he hasn't looked as good this year. He's going to go into the game with an 0-3 record and a 5.5 ERA. I'm going to take the Cardinals money line in this one at minus 178. I think that they're the better team, so we'll go with them. And then we'll take Paul Goldschmidt to get a hit in this game at minus 234. I think there's a lot of value there. He's got a track record against Stripling, and he's gotten a lot of hits, so we'll go with Goldschmidt to get a hit. The last 2 games to look at are the Cincinnati Reds at the Seattle Mariners and the Washington Nationals at the Los Angeles Dodgers. First, in the Cincinnati-Seattle game, it's Frankie Montas against George Kirby. Montas has looked really good so far for the Reds. He's going to enter the game with a 2-1 record and a 2.16 ERA. Kirby, he has not looked as good. He's 1-2 with an 8.16 ERA going into the game. In this one, Seattle's offense has really struggled. They're bottom 25 in runs per game. Their offense just hasn't been clicking. Cincinnati's bullpen has been fairly unreliable, so if the game's close, I could see Cincinnati maybe blowing the game. I could see maybe Seattle winning a close one in the end. So we'll just stick with Cincinnati Reds first 5 at plus 130. I couldn't believe it was such a high plus, considering that Montas has been off to a pretty good start, and Seattle's offense just hasn't been clicking on all cylinders. So when I saw that, I thought there's a lot of value there, so we'll take the Reds first 5 at plus 130. And then the Nationals-Dodgers game, it's Parker against Glasnow. Parker making his first career start. Glasnow, he's 3-0 with a 2.25 ERA, 17 strikeouts in his last outing. I mean, the guy is just on fire. We're going to bet nothing in this game. There's just no value here. I think I saw the Dodgers at minus 385. I even tried throwing them in a parlay with the Phillies first five from earlier in the video, and I think it was like minus 127 for a parlay. So there's just no value in this game whatsoever. Dodgers are just too heavy a favorite at minus 385. So we're just going to stay away from this game. Okay, that does it for today, guys. So we're going for that 6th win in a row. Hopefully we'll have a good day. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you're tailing me or fading me. If you're tailing me right now, obviously we're up 2.5 units, which isn't a lot, but we were down 9 units just 7 days ago. So we started our winning streak, and now we're up those 2.5 units, and we're going to keep it rolling. So please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the analysis. And then please click the like and subscribe button. It's going to go a long ways. I try to launch this channel. A lot of things I want to do with this channel, but it starts with the likes and the subscriptions to help me out. And then if you click on the notification bell, you get notified when I post my videos. That way you can be more informed before you place your bets. You'll know which way I'm leaning. And then finally, follow me on social media at X, on formerly Twitter, and on Instagram at Sportsbook Whisper. No vowels in Sportsbook. It's where I post my final plays of the day. I've said it from the beginning. A lot of the plays that I post in this video are just the leans that I'm monitoring throughout the days, but I want to check, the lineups that are posted, injury news and stuff like that. So final plays get posted on those social media sites. So, all right, guys, let's go for 6 in a row, and I will see you all tomorrow.